The episode opens with a young widow named Marianne and her stepson Elijah driving through rural Ohio. They're on their way to Indiana, where Marianne plans to drop Elijah off with his aunt. The truth is, since Elijah's father, Marianne's husband, was killed in combat, Marianne has been struggling. She doesn't know how to be a stepmother. She's planning to leave him behind and start over. Elijah doesn't know any of this yet. Suddenly, the sky changes. A violent storm erupts out of nowhere. And then, out of the chaos, a vintage P-51 Mustang fighter plane comes screaming through the clouds and crashes into a ditch right in front of their car. Marianne and Elijah scramble down the embankment. The pilot is alive but unconscious, tangled in his harness. They manage to free him and drag him to safety. When the pilot wakes up, he's disoriented and confused. His name is Lieutenant Theodore Cole. The last thing he remembers is flying a mission in 1944. He asks where the Germans are. He asks if the war is still going. Marianne has to break the news. The war ended decades ago. It's not 1944. It's the 21st century. Cole doesn't believe her at first. But then he sees the cars, the cell phones, the highways, and slowly, horrifyingly, the truth sinks in. Word travels fast. The military shows up almost immediately, led by a no-nonsense government agent named Bill Kaminsky. Kaminsky explains the situation. Cole didn't just fly through a storm. He flew through a rift, a tear in the fabric of space-time. These rifts have been appearing for years, and every time one opens, it causes earthquakes and environmental disasters. The only way to stop the damage is to send Cole back through the rift to his own time. But Marianne doesn't trust the government. And Elijah, who lost his father in the war, has immediately bonded with this heroic pilot. He doesn't want Cole to be taken away. So Marianne makes a snap decision. She grabs Elijah and Cole and drives off, evading the military checkpoint. Now they're fugitives, all three of them, racing across the Ohio countryside with Agent Kaminsky in hot pursuit. As they hide out in motels and back roads, something unexpected happens. Elijah and Cole grow close. Elijah sees in Cole the kind of brave, heroic father figure he lost. And Cole, who has no family left in the present, no one who remembers him, finds comfort in the boy's admiration. There's a particularly touching scene where Elijah tells Cole about his late father, who died in Afghanistan. Cole listens quietly, then shares his own fears about never seeing his loved ones again. Marianne watches this relationship develop and begins to question her plan to abandon Elijah. Maybe she doesn't have to run away from her responsibilities. Maybe this strange, impossible situation is forcing her to confront what she's been avoiding all along. Kaminsky eventually catches up to them. But instead of throwing Cole in a black site, he makes a surprising offer. Help us send Cole back through the rift, and no one gets hurt. The earthquakes are getting worse. The rift is destabilizing. If Cole doesn't return to his own time soon, the consequences could be catastrophic. Cole agrees. He knows he doesn't belong here. But before he goes, there's one thing he needs to do. Cole asks to see someone, his wife, Pauline. Kaminsky arranges it. They drive to a quiet suburban house. He walks up to the front door and knocks. An elderly woman answers. It's Pauline. She's in her 90s now, frail but alive. Behind her, Cole can see family photos on the wall, children, grandchildren. A life fully lived. A life that happened without him. Pauline doesn't recognize him at first. But when he speaks, when he says his name, her eyes widen. She knows. They sit together. Cole doesn't tell her who he really is. He can't. Not without breaking time itself. But he tells her that he knew her husband. That he was a good man. That he loved her until the very end. Pauline cries. Cole cries. And then, without ever revealing the truth, he says goodbye. It's a devastating scene. Cole has traveled 70 years into the future, only to discover that the woman he loved has moved on, grown old, built a new life. The final act takes place at an abandoned airfield. The rift is reopening, and Cole has to fly his repaired Mustang directly into it. The government has set up a perimeter. Kaminsky gives Cole a bulletproof vest, just in case. But as Cole climbs into the cockpit, Elijah runs to him. The boy doesn't want him to go. He's already lost one father figure. He can't lose another. Cole kneels down and tells Elijah something important. Sometimes, doing the right thing means saying goodbye. He thanks Elijah for reminding him what courage looks like. Marian watches from a distance, tears streaming down her face. She finally understands what she has to do too. She's not going to abandon Elijah. She's going to be his stepmother, truly, fully. Cole revs the engine. The Mustang roars down the makeshift runway. The rift opens above him, a swirling vortex of green light and electricity. He takes off. The plane climbs into the sky, straight toward the rift. The light swallows him whole. And then, silence. The rift closes. The sky clears. Cole is gone. Afterward, Marianne and Elijah stand in the field, watching the empty sky. Kaminsky approaches and tells them that according to historical records, Lieutenant Theodore Cole was declared missing in action in 1944. His plane was never found. His body was never recovered. But that doesn't mean he died. The episode leaves it ambiguous. Did Cole make it back to 1944? Did he survive the war? We don't know. What we do know is this. Cole's brief visit to the present changed two lives. Marian finally embraced her role as Elijah's stepmother. And Elijah, well, Elijah learned that heroes don't always stay. Sometimes, the bravest thing they can do is leave. In the final shot, Marianne and Elijah drive away from the airfield. If you enjoy contents like these, subscribe for more.